strange. Kind of hard to explain. Like something's missing.
A way for people to express their imagination.
It was often a weekend date night.
It's actually the place where I got my first kiss.
You feel connected to them. You grow up going to them with your grandparents, your parents, your friends, your romantic partners.
Hanging out with your family, hanging out with your mates, your first date night. It's a kind of experience you cannot get at home.
That whole experience of watching something
just sat in the dark.
the sheer vastness of it.
This big screen.
A very, very large screen.
With a lot of other people.
Go there to lose sense of reality a little bit.
Watching this thing come to life. You're all collectively taking in what's on the screen.
The sharing experience with somebody close to us.
Somewhere to go with my husband. It's just one of our things that we do, so it means a lot to me in that regard. And of course I'm entertained, but I'm also feeling that I'm learning about being a person.
Lifting of the spirits. if a movie inspires us, it can actually be a moment in time that can change our lives.
It's a real treat in going out with my grandmother, who is partially sighted, and just exploring what she can see on the big screen.
For me, cinema is escapism.
People go there. We need that escapism. And they haven't been able to do it.
Sitting at home is just not the same. There are way too many distractions. There's way too much going on. And I don't get that same sense of immersion that I do with the cinema.
Escapism. It's a place we can go for an hour and a half or 2 hours, a couple of hours, and really forget about who we are or what we are or where we are in the world, and we can be taken to other realities, other places, other times. We can be taken back to the past, we can be taken forward into the future, or we can be made to laugh, cry, and feel so many different emotions and different things in the present moment.
And I'm also worried that many smaller cinemas that were open before don't open again because they just won't be able to afford it. And these small cinemas are important because they sometimes show films that you can't see in a multiplex.
I remember looking across at my father. He was getting a bit older at the time, and I remember the joy on his face because he hadn't been to the cinema for such a long time.
I don't suppose the cinema of the current day means as much to me as the older days when it was an actual treat to go to the cinema. It was a really cool thing to do. But of course, in those days, it wasn't done nearly as often as it is these days. It was a treat, so you will go maybe once every couple of months with your friends. And then, as I've grown and matured and left the cinema behind me because I think the television gives you so many different options with films, I tended not to visit cinemas.
I've got a projector which I set up sometimes to watch films that I want to see on a big screen. I haven't got a massive screen, but it's sort of like my own version of a home cinema. And I really enjoyed doing that.
the idea that one is better than the other, even though there might be a kind of tangible aesthetic superiority, I find troubling. But I'm certainly excited to be back in that room, because there is undeniably a charge and a different kind of experience when being in the cinema room.